Day 40 Notes, Financial Algebra. Today I'd like to talk about some of the practice problems that you saw in yesterday's formula sheet from day 39. We won't go through all of these, but there are a handful of problems that I wanted to review with you today. While I walked around the room yesterday, I felt that pretty much everyone was good to go on problem number one. So if there's a concern that you have with this, please be prepared to ask me about that on Monday in class. So the first one that I wanted to cover in this video was problem number 2 about Jennifer, who wants to borrow $20,000. Her bank is going to give her a loan at 7.1% interest, and essentially she gets to choose how long to make payments. Now, she can afford a $500 per month payment, so the question becomes how long or what length of loan does she need to take out in order to afford a $500 per month payment on $20,000. Now, for this question, we could use a formula and calculate the answer to a tenth of the year, but if you remember, each of our unit assessments are going to be completed in a multiple choice setting. So let me show you how to use this loan table to help answer this question. And you may use this worksheet on the test on Tuesday, so it's a good idea to get this practice under your belt. Now, the loan that she's taking out is 7.1%, and a 7.1% exists somewhere in between 7 and 7.25. Now, as we look along these two rows here, we see what the monthly payment would be should we take out a loan at 7 or 7.25% for a particular length of time, from 1 up to 40 years. Now, what I would like to find is which one of these groups of numbers would keep her monthly payment under $500 per month when she borrows $20,000. You have to keep in mind that each of the numbers that we see in the table here are monthly payments based on just $1,000. So if she's borrowing $20,000, we're going to multiply each of these values by 20. So again, what I'll be doing is some guessing and checking here. And while I'm guessing and checking, I'm going to focus only at the 7% interest rate right now, because 7.1 is closer to 7% exactly, rather than 7.25. Now, if she were to take a 1-year loan and try to pay this back in that amount of time, the table indicates that she'd be paying $86.53 for each $1,000 that she borrows. So this is her payment per month for each $1,000 that she borrows. She's borrowing $20,000, so we'll multiply this by 20. And when doing this, we find that 86.53 times 20 for $20,000 is a monthly payment of $1,730. So quite clearly she can't afford this payment. This is well above her $500 limit. Now when we look at the table again, our 2-year payment reduces our monthly payments significantly if we pay this off over 2 years' time. So we're looking at $44.77 per month for each $1,000 that she borrows. So we multiply that number by 20. And we see that $44.77 times 20 leaves us with a monthly payment of $895.40. $895.40. So a bit closer, but not quite right. I'd like for you to repeat these calculations and investigate the next couple of years to find out which one is going to produce a monthly payment that's small enough to keep a $500 a month payment. I'm going to pause the video now and complete this work. I suggest that you do the same and restart the video in just a few moments to see if your answer matches mine. So if you continue this calculation, you'll find that on the 4th year, our monthly payment per $1,000 is only $23.95. And when we multiply that by 20, we end up with a monthly payment of $479. So what it looks like to me is that approximately 4 years is the length of the loan that you'll need to take out in order to keep a monthly payment less than $500. A 3-year loan won't cut it, but a 4-year loan will. Now I do realize that the question here asks for the answer to the 10th of a year. So keep in mind, if we were to see something like this on a multiple choice question on the test, maybe our multiple choice options look like this. Now I don't know if these numbers are precise, but they're just some that I made up here. I think right off the bat, after doing our test, we see that 2.8 is no good as a choice and 4.2 is no good as a choice because, again, it took somewhere between 3 and 4 years to get our payment down below $500. And the $500 payment is a lot closer to this time frame. So it's a lot closer to 4 years than it was 3. So I think a pretty safe bet would be to go with this option. Using an educated guess, I think that would be a pretty good choice.